Tetiana, you motivate, you organize hundreds, even thousands of volunteers in The Hague from the international community. With your insight, how are they faring? How are they doing?
It is indeed hundreds and often even thousands of volunteers that we try to help out in the Greater Hague area to find volunteer work with help of Volunteer the Hague project. And we do see the effect of Corona and how much loneliness rose and how much there is need for support, this longing for belonging, so to say, it rises within the international community. This is one of the reasons we are starting this new series that we hope will launch, we already have the pilot this year, but we hope they will launch next year, a series of support groups for internationals, fairly informal and very casual and cozy. Just, I do believe that there is a strong need for this within the international community.
We're facing the possibility of stricter COVID measures in the coming time. What form will this support group take if we're not able to see each other face to face?
I would like to have an in-person support group, and if it's not possible to have it at the moment or when the stricter measures take place, then I think it's better if we postpone it a little bit, because there are a lot of online support groups. If you go to Meetup or just Google it, there are indeed a lot of online, and you don't have to be. They don't have to take place in the Greater Hague area. They can just be in London, North America, or any other place, but I do believe that there is no substitution for the face-to-face interaction of human beings. So I prefer them in person, of course.
Okay, so will there be a particular location? What form will these meetings take?
At the moment, I envision them to be here at PAP, at the location of Volunteer The Hague. We have quite a few private rooms, private meeting rooms. Since I would like to have this support groups in a smaller scale, personal and quite personal, yes, and then cozy. I think this is the word I'm looking for, is cozy, that we feel comfortable sharing what is on our mind. Because grief, this is the first support group that I would like to have, is about grieving, about loss that we've experienced. COVID took some people from us. We just have to face it. We can not think about it. We can just try to shovel the feelings somewhere down there. But they're still there. And I think it's important for the international community to speak up, to be able to share these feelings with each other. And I think I can be one of the examples. I lost my mom 3 years ago, and it took a toll on me, of course, and I thought I dealt with it. But then every year her birthday comes or the holidays are approaching, I do feel like I want to talk about it, but not just talk about it with anybody, but with somebody who went through a similar experience, somebody who can understand. And this is kind of at core the reason why I would like to start this support groups for the international community, so that we can share with each other similar experiences and feel understood and feel heard. I have my husband, I have my loved ones, and I have all the support I can dream about, but none of them went through a similar experience. So I'm grateful that they are there for me, but I think I would like to have somebody who went through a similar experience. And having the support groups will help me, will help a number of people that I know, and will help, I do think, the Greater Hague international community.
Is it peer-to-peer, or do you have a professional person in that group?
I would prefer to have them at the moment peer-to-peer. There are a lot of professional services that are available to the internationals, in the Greater Hague area. But I think what's missing at the moment is this peer-to-peer support. This the way for us to get together and just in a private manner share what we have in mind and just see other people that are going through a similar experience. Just recently, I had a lunch with a friend of mine, and I was sharing this idea, and I also shared my experience with with the loss of my mom and how things are developing within the family. And she started sharing a very similar experience of her losing a dad, and I had no idea that she went through that. And then she told me I had no idea how much in common we have and how many now I'm starting to bubble because I'm getting emotional. I guess to make a long story short, it just the conversation popped up during the lunch, and how many conversations like this can pop up when we give people an opportunity to talk.
I think as we face the year end, it is an emotional period for many of us in the international community. We can't go back home with any certainty. The Netherlands is now on just about on every country's blacklist in terms of the rate of infection. So it is going to be one difficult period for not only the international community, but maybe particularly for the international community. When does your pilot scheme kick off? And how can people find out more about it? How do they get hold of you?
The advertisement is on our website, volunteerthehague.nl. The date is set up for the 23rd of November. It's a Tuesday, and it's a noontime between 12 and 1. We already have some people registered, and since we would like to have the group quite small and cozy, so I would encourage, if you're interested, then do register right away. And then I'm hoping to have another one closer to the end of December, when the Christmas period starts, because I do think that will be the time that we need the support the most. And then we will evaluate how the support groups went this year, and based on that, here with Volunteer The Hague, we will start planning for the next year, how we can involve the international community, support them, promote volunteering, and see how we can just make everybody's life a little bit better.
What a wonderful ideal to work towards. Tatiana, I do have one question. How big will these groups be? Because, of course, everybody is aware that we can't be with large numbers nowadays.
Yes, I'm not looking to have hundreds of people, of course. At the moment, given the corona measures, the room can accommodate only 10 people in the room, so that's the cap we can have at the moment. Also, I see that given it's support group. It's an important task, but also for us to accept that we want to talk about some issues, that we when we talk about them we become vulnerable. It takes some time to accept that and realize that. I don't think there going to be a bigger group, or I don't envision that for the pilots. But then when we evaluate the pilots, and then we start with the fuller advertisement, with the more spread the word within the community. Then, depending where Corona takes us, we can always have more frequent support groups. So we just have to see how the next year and what the next year will bring us. But for now, the groups will be no more than 10 people.
A wonderful initiative by you, Tatiana, and especially the fact that it's born out of your own personal situation. Thank you very much for joining us on Dutch Buzz.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Dutch Buzz, your listening ear in The Hague.